Peace and love, beautiful butterflies. Peace and love. I hope that I'm finding you all in an amazing place because I am. And if you're not there, I hope that you're listening to your mind, your body, and your spirit to get to a place of purpose and peace in all things surrounded in faith. Okay? So, last night I was just kind of planning and that's the thing, doing more planning, but planning about what this week focus will be as far as speaking and giving inspiration and things like that. And I decided to focus on one area this week and planning on doing that every week. So today, and if you are on my social media platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you would know that today is all, or this week is all about faith. Faith, 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 and faith. Because honestly, I think that's just a message that God wants out to his people now. And I do things as I'm led. I do things as I am led. So I decided to write down a couple things that I wanted to discuss as it pertains to faith and how faith has changed my life. And one of those things would be, or to start the week off, it'll be how faith has brought me purpose. And that's a very broad title, but faith did bring me purpose. And I know if you watch my videos and like read my blogs and like just know my story, you would know that your girl done came a long way, okay? I came a long way, but starting my journey, when I talk about my journey, I'm talking about my spiritual journey, my journey to me, my journey to God. Oh, look, check out my background. Look, I found something that went with me and went with, you know, just my story and journey of a butterfly. And so I'm excited about that. I just kind of just paid attention to it while I was looking at myself. But yeah, back to that. But talking about how purpose has brought me journey, how faith has brought me to my purpose. And if you know me, like I said, you know my story and me starting my journey towards myself and towards God. As I look back on things, my faith level was weak. And I didn't really realize how low my faith level was until I had got real faith. One more time. Real faith. I wanted to kind of put the quotations around it because it's a lot of us walking around praying and hoping on fake faith. And honestly, that's something that I did too. Because I've learned that. I've learned, you know, growing up in church to, that was one of the main things about God and, you know, Jesus is, and, you know, how the people had faith. But I couldn't really understand the teachings back then. I couldn't grasp it because my mind frame, that's just not where I was. So operating out of fake faith kind of leads us in a circle, the same circle that you want to get out of. And we psych ourselves out by, you know, saying that we have this faith and we don't believe it within ourselves. And that's what this whole journey is about, this whole talk about finding yourself and finding God and finding peace, love, life, is being real with you first. And if you have a faith base that is not strong as you would like it to be, that's okay. But you have to be honest with yourself about that. That's not something you have to broadcast. You have to go to church and say, I just ain't got the faith. I knew my faith was very low on times where I would have a hard time. And I had a friend of mine who, And I had a friend of mine who would, he brought up mustard seeds. And he is a very, very spiritual person. And, you know, he was always talk about having faith the size of a mustard seed. And, you know, that was my way of kind of looking at it when seeing the actual mustard seed. Like, that stuck with me, you know, throughout the years after that, even during hard times, of just when I would be in that binding moment where I'm just like, God, where are you? You know, what's going on? Why me? Why, the stuff we say when we're just in a situation. But even during those moments when I didn't really know God, it was always something he showed me in those moments to keep going. And I worked in the food industry. So I did have access to see an actual mustard seed, or it would be something someone said to me that had the word mustard seed in it. So it was like, okay, so you in there somewhere. You somewhere in the vicinity, but you know, I just can't reach you. And so I kept that with me through my years of, you know, journeying through life, because that's how we build faith anyways, going through things. And so when I started my journey of just, you know, silencing the noise of the world and just kind of not relying on humanity anymore, and not relying on the advice and opinions of others anymore. And I don't want to say anymore, but I had to take a break from that, because that was my driving force, right? So I would listen to people so much that I didn't have the time to rely on myself or God. So that was my notion to just shut it all down. I had to shut it all down because I was vulnerable, and I had to be honest with myself during that time, because I knew I was vulnerable. I knew during that time I was emotional. I was all of these different emotions. And so talking to other people who I realized didn't know either did not help. And that's fine. That's fine, taking advice and taking what resonates with you, because God do uses people and things to show himself to you. But during this time, he was tapping me on the shoulders. He was tapping me on the shoulders to reserve some of that time to myself, so that with me getting to myself, I would get to him. And during those times, you know, I didn't know what I was getting myself into as far as, you know, faith wise anyways. I just wanted to get rid of my issues. I just wanted to get out of despair. I had gotten to a place where I was okay if I went to sleep and didn't wake up. So I want to live, you know what I'm saying? So I got into a place where even when talking to people, I would lose my train of thought mid-sentence. And it was just like God was even taking the words out of my mouth to people. So I had to go into solitude. I listened to that, because had I not, who knows where I would be right now, you know? And thank goodness I had something within me to just listen to myself, because when I look around, it was like, it was kind of like, ooh, I don't know if I should listen to you either, you know? So it was like, girl, just be quiet, go sit in the corner. You know, do as much as picking up the phone, let people know you here and you all right. You ain't got to tell them what you're doing, but I was basically hiding in plain sight for a little while, to be honest with you. And, you know, I was showing up still for my baby and my husband and myself every day, but I couldn't show up for everybody. I couldn't. And I had no apologies for that. And that's another thing we have to get to. Choosing you and being unapologetic about that, okay? I need to keep that one. Just keep that one. But getting in that corner and having that silence in my life, it did bring up things that I pushed away for so long. I pushed it away. And the thing about pushing away and suppressing things that hurt us or traumatize us is that that pain goes nowhere but deeper and deeper and deeper. So I just get chills just, thinking about that, because I kind of feel, I guess I feel, the Holy Spirit. But I went into solitude, and I started to notice that when I pull up certain videos on YouTube or read certain books, it was like it was just things that it was meant for me, videos that was meant for me. And I was learning so much and unlearning a ton of things, okay? And unlearning is something that I think we should all be open-minded to. Unlearning a lot of behaviors that we grew up with. Open your mind up to that possibility. It might change your life, okay? But I was taking heed, and it was like, okay, God, I don't hear you, but I know this right here is for me. This is hitting the nail on the head for me. And so I started writing things down. I would journal. I would actually let myself feel things. And then to even go through the process of feeling things, you have to know that healing is painful. Because just imagine, pushing that down and deeper and deeper and deeper. Healing can be painful sometimes. But the thing about this kind of healing is that it's not the same once you heal from it when you think about it again. And I hope that made sense how I said that. But when you heal from a certain trauma or a certain type of pain the right way, when you look back at it again, it won't hit the same. It won't hit from a low place. It'll hit from a high place, because you then turned that pain into some type of purpose and into some type of wisdom. So I started to allow myself to heal and to feel. And the thing about feeling is it's okay in those moments of healing to actually feel angry, to feel sad, to feel hurt, to feel like not forgiving those people or forgiving yourself. But the thing is to turn that around during those healing moments once you're coming out of that. It's to turn that around and then pray and meditate on feeling happy, feeling healed, forgiving, and all those other good things. We have to always, once you're going through that low period, that challenging period, it's okay to feel the feels. But before you come out of that, you have to turn it around. You have to turn it into something positive. You have to turn it into something that's going to uplift you and inspire you to even inspire others to want to heal also, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That is a major part of healing. But even with healing and having, like, even when talk about quieting the noise of the world, that took faith to even do, because my family, my friends, and the people in my life were so important to me, right? So that's number one on the faith thing. That was big. And I didn't realize then I was using faith. And so even going through that, I started noticing my anxiety. I couldn't remember the last time I had a panic attack or an anxiety attack. I couldn't remember. And, it's something different about healing and finding God in your home and praising Him alone in your home. That's why I always say, I didn't find God at church. I found Him at home. Okay? And it's some things that I know that you cannot go get in a book. You have to connect. You have to connect. So having that and opening myself up to not having those symptoms of those mental illnesses that I had, I was just like, this is miraculous. Like, I couldn't believe it. And then I was like, yo, God is real. God is real. Okay. So for me, that was the eye-opening point for me, having the faith to step aside from the world. And then having the faith to allow God to get me to my purpose. I had to get to that place to get to my purpose. Then it was just like my peace and harmony. It's just like I couldn't get upset about the little stupid stuff my child would do or my husband would say or the things that I would come across. It was just like, oh, okay. You know, it was just like, and sometimes I would even be surprised if I didn't have a reaction. I'd be like, I would wait for myself to have a reaction. It'd be just like, okay, Keela, so that don't bother you. You ain't gonna say nothing? You cool? And I would be cool. And then I was like, okay, I see you. Cause I would go off the handle, all right? I would go off the handle. So that was one of the other things I started to notice. Oh my God, it was just like I was dancing. I was like, I connected to everything. It was just like, you know, and having the mindset of being mindful, turning the negative thoughts into positive thoughts. And that's work too. But anywho, that brought me to my purpose because then I had started having these ideas. I was already doing the blogs. But then I started having the ideas of making bracelets. And I if anybody knows me and knows me for real, they would know that I used to always say I do not have a creative bone in my body. So this was something else that was totally out of my vision. I just assumed I was going to be working for the government somehow, at a post office, something. But I started being interested in bracelets. I started looking into gemstones because I was already, you know, wearing gemstones from just, you know, gifts, but I never really understood the meaning of them or whatever the case is. And then it was just like, as I would read the Bible, I saw some of these gemstones that I was using inside the Bible, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a godsend. And so by that time I had already created my business. I was, you know, selling on Etsy and also selling other little things too, but that was faith in itself. Even like getting my business license, my retail, like everything. It was just like pow, 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 pow. And like I said, when you get to a place of peace and a place of healing and you're intentional about your journey, you get to a place of trusting your thoughts. Your thoughts are your gift, all right? And if you listen to them, you'll be surprised of where you end up. And so it didn't stop with the bracelets. Then it turned into, life coaching. Like I'm still sometimes in awe because where I am now in life brings me so much purpose and passion. And I remember upon getting out the military, that was one of the main things I struggled with and made me even more depressed because it's like, I would look around and it was like, okay, I was once working for something. And it's like, now I'm not doing anything. And so even when I was trying to find the right certification course for my life coaching cert, I needed a certain one. Like it couldn't be nobody that was just giving a class and giving out a certificate. It needed to be approved. It needed to be by the type of people I wanted it to be by, and it, you know, price wise, it just needed to be. It needs to be everything I wanted to be. So even while looking, I had stopped looking because I couldn't find what I was looking for. And so I put it aside. And, you know, I kept praying and just, you know, meditating on things and was like, well, if it's not this, then what? You know, type of thing. Next thing I know, I log on and I see the perfect course. I see the perfect people. And I booked a consultation with them, and it was everything that I needed it to be. It was everything that I needed it to be. It wasn't just no regular ass cert, okay? I needed it to be what I needed it to be. He know I ain't on no little mess. Like I want my stuff to be legit. And so I did that and completed it. And now I'm here. I'm here telling my story, telling my purpose, and how faith has got me here. Okay? And even with that just being said, if you need help in obtaining a fresh start, not even a start, I don't even like to say that, because everybody on this journey for a reason. Look, we are all on a mission to get it right in life, all right? We are all on a mission to right our wrongs. And right our wrongs, not just within, people in your life. Right your wrongs with yourself, because we put ourselves on the back burners for years, okay? So waking up every day with the intention to have faith, no matter the fear you feel in your heart, is a +1, okay? And the more faith you push into you each day, the more fear that will leave your heart every day, okay? To the point where you won't even know the word, okay? I don't even want to say it. You won't even know that word anymore. It'll be so far behind you. And where we're going in this world right now, and where God is taking humanity, you have to have fear. Every time you turn on the news, they're pouring fear into you. Every time you turn on mainstream something, they're pouring fear into you. Be aware, and be connected. Be connected to yourself and God in a way to where you know if somebody's trying to instill fear. Fear is the worst medicine. Fear kills. Fear is the reason why people walk around with anxiety and panic disorders now. Mental illnesses in general, okay? So, faith. Faith this week is the focus. We're going to make faith the focus this week, so every week of every day, of every year, every hour, that it could be your focus, okay? I enjoyed this. Hopefully, I got a couple things that I'm doing this week. I'm also working on a blog. I hope that resonated with someone. And look, if you're looking to book for help in this area, help in other areas of your life, help with just inner peace, purpose, faith, anything, somebody to help guide you through this area of your life, to help you meet your goals as far as faith, to get you past the threshold of just relying on man to help you. Book me, all right? www.journeyofaButterfly.net. You can also watch my other videos. What else? I'm on Facebook and TikTok. I'm starting to go live more on Facebook too. I'm kind of liking that feeling. But anyways, go out there, be love, be light, be peace, so that you can receive love, light, peace. Peace.